Cardano holders, welcome back. In this video, I want to talk about what we have going on right now as we look into this price prediction coming out from an analyst talking about $4 Cardano, okay? For me, guys, I've been a Cardano holder for quite some time. Just going to be honest and level with you all. This is something where whenever you throw around these numbers past all-time highs, I kind of raise an eyebrow there and kind of get a little skeptical. So we are going to talk about it because maybe not $4, but the analysis may be right. Just kind of more of a, I guess you would say, a opportunistic price expectation for this trader. We'll kind of get into some of the numbers because I do think they are relevant. Maybe not the price prediction, okay, because I am a realist and probably more so than a skeptic, all right? Really don't do the pom-pom thing here on YouTube. I just kind of give you guys my thoughts and share with you guys what I'm doing in the markets, okay? So let's get down into it. For those of you that are new to the channel, make sure you all hit that like button. Please subscribe down below if you are new. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below because we are going to be talking about the midnight airdrop. All right, I just did a video breaking down the entire process. It was a little bit lengthy, but there was a lot of information because there's a lot of fine print and it does involve multiple blockchains, but we're getting close, right? It's supposed to be the middle of August, also kind of coinciding with what we're seeing within that live stream that will be hosted, where Charles Hoskinson will pretty much release all of the data and react to it, I guess, in real time of what actually happened with that misappropriation of funds. So very excited for that, and I've been talking about it. It's not financial advice, but if you do think that will be in favor of Cardano, I think that as we get some of these dips, it does open the door for a little bit of a swing trade if you do want to just play a quick 5 to 10% scalp if we do get some positive news and traders kind of go off of that steam. And I think that could be a very short, and I don't really swing trade Cardano, I'm just being honest. It's a hold for me, but that's something where I am looking to potentially open up a position where I can swing trade some funds on the side, maybe outside of my main Cardano bags. Okay, so let's get into it. Like I talked about, we will get into the price action of the day as we do look at ADA, and this is where we look at it right now. 3.9% up on the day. Bitcoin's holding true at 115,000. ADA at 75 cents. Now, a lot of people, I do read your comments, and a lot of people, this is funny because we got these same comments back when Cardano was at 19 cents, even 25 cents, 30 cents. For some reason, I don't know what it is about Cardano, right? You either love it or you hate it, okay? And that's kind of where I look at kind of what we have going on. And simply put, everybody was saying the same thing when Cardano was trading at 19 cents. You can go back to my old videos, read the comments because they're there. Very transparent with that. I've heard it all. Cardano's a ghost chain. It's going to zero. I don't know why anybody buys into this, I'm not going to say the word, but S coin. And that's kind of the nuts and bolts of it. Okay. And we heard it at 40 cents, 50 cents. Cardano reached $1.30. Okay. And we still heard it. The Cardano was going to zero. It's a horrible crypto. I got to be honest with you guys, they're doing a lot of things that even when I first invested in Cardano and I did know the roadmap, I follow the IOG, all that good stuff, but it just is something where they're doing some things in the space that other cryptos and blockchains aren't even really scraping the surfaces of, okay? And the first reason and the main reason why I first invested into Cardano personally was because I said, hey, here's a guy that came over from Ethereum, okay, taking a product and making it better, improving upon it, with being one of the co-founders of Ethereum, okay? So think, for example, my mindset, and if you guys disagree with me, that's perfectly fine. This is just an open conversation, right? You're entitled to your own opinion. But the reason why, think of it similar to if, Steve Jobs came up with Apple, okay? And let's just say Tim Cook, for all intents and purposes, left Apple, created his own tech company based off of kind of what he was privy to. Obviously non-competes would be an issue, but let's just say he started, some other company, right? Taking what Apple did successfully, being right there at the forefront and trying to improve upon it and make it a better product, that just really would grab my attention as an investor. As if they had an IPO, all that good stuff, I'd be really turned on to that company that was being created from one of the higher ups and one of the heads of the original Apple product. Now, that's just an analogy. Obviously, I'm not comparing Apple to Ethereum, so to speak, but that's kind of what it is. Okay, that's kind of the comparison that I'm trying to make to kind of wrap your head around my psychology for first buying into Cardano, because I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this video that think I'm absolutely crazy for how much I probably bought right out the gate. Okay. So let's get into kind of what we came here to talk about, because this price prediction is worth talking about, as we have seen a cup and handle formation with a breakout target of $1.15 to $4. Now, cup and handles are bullish. First, I do want to tell you guys, nobody has that crystal ball. So if you're watching this video and you're saying, okay, well, the top kind of breakout pattern is showing at reaching to $4 in that level, doesn't always have to kind of reach the moon, right? You know, that old analogy, if you shoot for the moon, land upon the stars. Kind of what we see with technical analysis a lot as well, okay? Cup and handle, yes, we are looking for a breakout. However, we may not hit $4, but even if we come close, we're still going to be in a good spot, because a dollar below $4 would be all-time highs. And roughly, I think a lot of people watching this, quite frankly, would probably take a $2 ADA. That would be a fun, I actually cannot wait to make Cardano videos once it hits $2, because we're going to have some fun kind of picking in the pockets of what people are actually doing, because I think, unfortunately, a lot of Cardano traders would be jumping ship if ADA ever reached $2 once again, okay? But as we look at this, renewed growth through a 3.5% increase to 75 cents in the last 24 hours. Also, we have a lot of interest because of the midnight airdrop and a $71 million investment for network growth. Okay, so a lot of things coming. My personal bullish headline for ADA, it's not going to be the midnight airdrop. I'm kind of a glass half full with those as well. A lot of times with these airdrops, you know, and quite frankly, let's just say you give other ecosystem holders free tokens. What are they going to do? They're going to sell right out the gate. It's going to plummet. So if you do favor midnight, I probably would wait. Probably not financial advice, but if I do get a boatload of midnight tokens, I'm probably going to just sell right out the gate, wait for everybody else to sell, and then buy at the bottom, because everybody will be doing that. Okay. So let's look into it. Personally, I think this is something where we talk about this pattern and what we're looking at as we look into kind of this breakout. I do think that this is something where, like I talked about, even if we don't reach $4 with this cup and handle pattern forming, because I think there's a lot of macro right now that we are faced with, right? You can have the best technical analysis in the world, but if you don't have the macro to back up the trend, it doesn't amount to anything, okay? You can show golden crosses after golden crosses, cup and handles, it doesn't really matter, okay? There's nothing really that can drive the needle outside of just sentiment, okay? So if we have all of these overseas things, we have federal interest rates, we have tariffs, all this good stuff that plagues the market day in and day out. If all those things are looming, doesn't matter what we're showing from the technicals, Cardano will not run, okay? It's just something where a lot of people will become risk avert, and it just won't get the run that we should if you do have a lot of those things kind of teeing us up for a significant price move. Now, as we talk about more so, as you look at this cup and handle, when we do break above that neckline, a lot of short-term traders might also FOMO into this, a lot more upward pressure from them. And to validate this, guys, this is where we would have to have both the price action and volume within the structure. And that's where I could see Cardano reaching 93 cents, coupling that with the midnight airdrop, coupling that with potentially the ETF talk. And for me, the biggest catalyst that I have personally is I'm a big proponent of what Cardano is doing within the Bitcoin bridge. Okay, we'll see what kind of fruits that bears in that narrative, but that's probably my number one catalyst for Cardano in 2025. Okay, and that's kind of where we're at. All right, as we look in kind of what we're having, the $4 price target will be faced with a lot of resistance. I know, guys, I know a lot of you are probably laughing, snickering, say, I'm never watching this guy. He's off his meds. He's thinking Cardano is going to go to $4. Okay. I probably can not guarantee it, but I would put a lot of my ADA at stake to say one day Cardano would hit $4. Maybe in 10 years, maybe in 5 years, who knows? But just never say never with that $4 price target. Okay, when I bought my first ADA, it was with the expectation that ADA would hit $9 to $12, and I'm really sticking to that. It's maybe going to be pushed back a little bit, as I did have a 2030 mindset, and I know a lot of you guys are saying the same thing, right? You're saying don't buy crypto with a 5-6 year forecast. You may not even be around in 5 years. I've heard it all. Okay. And that's okay. But as we look at it today, there's a lot of room in crypto to run. Okay. And it's not just within Cardano. I've made gains in a lot of different other cryptos. I'm not a Cardano maxi. I do believe in all crypto doing well. And also I do believe in competition. So the better the crypto is across the board, quite frankly, that's just only going to make Cardano work harder and hopefully perform better on the charts. Okay, I'm a big fan of competition, but that's kind of where we're at. Now, the last thing is that midnight airdrop. Okay, so this is something where you look for 24 billion night tokens, where 50% of that will go to ADA holders. All right, I did a video breaking down that entire process, and that is one where you have to hold it on basically a non-custodial wallet. I think is kind of the off of an exchange, I should say, okay, off of an exchange. And also, it's not going to be just exclusive to Cardano holders. It's going to also impact a couple other blockchains. So looking forward to some of the communities kind of getting a piece of the ADA ecosystem and kind of seeing where it'll go to, all right? But that's kind of where we look into it. There's something where there's a lot of open interest right now, $215 million. So active traders entering or re-entering the market from what we've looked at. This is something where we are seeing kind of that microscope on Cardano as more traders are looking into betting on Cardano for the long haul, as that open interest has picked up, and we are seeing that in being essentially more so in opening longs. All right, so that's kind of the nuts and bolts of it. That's kind of where we're at. I think that right now, as we look at this turning point that we're having, it's going to be around 90 cents. I think that's kind of the breaking point for Cardano. All right. If we do get that positive sentiment, we get a softness in the overall macro in the market, I think that Cardano has some legs to run on. And that's what I'm looking forward to as we get into Q4 of 2025. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Leave a comment down below if you have not already done so. Let's get this discussion going. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Cheers.